In the run-up to the UK election, we want to use this time to take you through our oral health manifesto point by point. We hope that policymakers take this opportunity to brush up on their oral health knowledge so that they can better equip the country with what it needs. Right now, we're going to talk about bringing toothbrushing programmes into early years settings.
I mean, I know teachers are certainly when kids are getting older, in the sort of higher levels of education, are very pushed for time. But certainly in early years settings and Key Stage 1, probably Key Stage 2 as well, there will be time for this. And it's such an important thing because in some areas, for some children, this may be the only time their teeth get brushed during the day. And I'm not saying everywhere, but even if they only get one brush at home, this is giving them the second brush. So I think when you say to people, are you brushing the kids' teeth at nursery or in a school setting, they would kind of like scream and run for the hills, thinking it's going to be really difficult. But as we've shown with our brush time program, which again you can find on our website, which is, if you're a very visual person wants to see it, this is actually shows you it in action and how it works. What the brush time shows is the whole program of how the toothbrushing session works. So you have a brush box. Now a brush box it has 12 slots in it, so you might need more than one. They stack really nicely. They have a slot for each individual toothbrush, so no toothbrush touches another toothbrush. The lid comes down so they're not subjected to any aerosol sprays or anything like that. However, they are ventilated so the toothbrush is air dry, which is what we always recommend. So what you do is you get your brush box down. As I say, all of these toothbrushes are named. The child comes up and they will know their toothbrush. They will recognise their name. They take their own toothbrush. They then, there'll either be a paper towel. So they're sitting down in a circle normally. Doesn't have to be in the bathroom, obviously, just in the classroom setting. Paper plate, paper towel. Do this pre-brush time, just to smear several smears of toothpaste on there for the number of children. Enough space so each child can take the bit individually. So what you do is you take it to the child, they scoop up the individual little smear of toothpaste onto their toothbrush, and then you take it to the next child, etc., etc. So they've all got toothpaste on their toothbrush. Then you can start your 2-minute song or your 2-minute timer, whichever you choose to use, and start the brushing. So you are encouraging the children to use circular movements to get onto every surface of the teeth. So you want to be going the front ones and right the way down to the back, and don't forget the insides and then the biting surfaces. So you're going to do that upper and lower, and that will take the 2 minutes. Then you're going to take the child's paper towel. They spit into the paper towel, so there's no excess. It's spat into the paper towel. That paper towel is then immediately put into a bin bag that somebody is taking round. Then the child can you can take them into the bathroom, and they queue up and they wash their toothbrush to get the excess toothpaste off, and then they can come and put it back into the brush box. Supervised if they're very young, because obviously, again, we don't want the toothbrushes touching. And then they can be put back on the shelf until the next day. Obviously, if a child drops a toothbrush or the toothbrushes do get muddled, they need to be changed. So you just got to keep an eye on that. With younger children, it's sometimes easier to gather the toothbrushes, individually yourself. But, you know your children best, whatever you think would work for them. And that's it. It's really simple. You don't have to have 12 sinks, and you don't have to have running water, and it doesn't have to be messy. In fact, when it's well organised, it's the least messy thing that you probably do in schools and nurseries. So it's really a really, really good way of getting kids used to that 2 minutes twice a day. And, you know, putting on their little bit of responsibility, going and getting their own toothbrush, picking their own toothpaste off the either a plate or a paper towel. It shows them the amount of toothpaste they should be using. It shows them the size of toothbrush they should be using, and it shows them how long they should be brushing for. So making it as part of the school or nursery day is really important, because kids love routine, and getting that into a routine is a routine that then they will take on for life. So we're setting the stepping stones for good oral health for a lifetime, which is what we really want. You know, we want correct brushing techniques. We want the right tools for the job. We want them brushing for the right length of time, which is simple, really. It's a really, really good preventative measure that will significantly reduce oral health problems. It will have cost savings because we can reduce children's decay, so dental decay in kids. It will stop the suffering of toothache. And again, like we've said before with some of the other points, savings in school days and time off work, etc., due to toothache are on the rise.
You know, there's a little bit of debate, I guess, around what the parents are responsible for and what teachers are responsible for. But if you can encourage adding that ritual and that routine from that young, then they're going to move on through their school years and hopefully carry these patterns on forever,
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
they're enjoying brushing their teeth, and that's the
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. It's really important, isn't it, that people that the good habits are learnt early, you know, as soon as somebody can. And that's it's kind of a good way of introducing something that we know should become a habit. And that's all we're looking for, really, isn't it? We're just looking for happy, healthy kids that want to clean their teeth and want to join in, and they're doing things together, which is an ideal situation. You've kind of got a captive audience, and they love doing things like that. And it really doesn't have to be daunting. It doesn't have to cost much, and it is the benefits really outweigh any of the stress that you might think it is. But you know, in my experience, it's not stressful. The kids just do it, and then they know the routine. Once you've got the routine, and they give their brush a swill, and then you put it back in the brush box, and it's really, obviously you need to make sure that the toothbrushes are all named with the right names, etc. Simple step with some great results.
Read the full manifesto on our website and get in touch with your local counsellor to see what they're planning to do to improve the oral health in your area. Next time, we're talking about cracking down on sugar.